All right, welcome to today's training. So we have seen a crash down on BMNR, MSTR, also Bitcoin is at the bottom. Let's take a look and see. I'm going to show you some different charts here on the daily of particularly related to when I'm going to consider buying back into MSTR and buying in to BMNR. I'm trading them on a daily basis currently, but I'm going to show you the charts and how it looks. None of this in this video is tax advice, financial advice, or legal advice. Do your own research on stuff. But we're going to go here to a chart that shows you what's actually happening here on the daily. So this is the daily chart. You can trade the 2 hour, the 10 minute. But if I'm looking at longer term investment decisions on this, of when I would get out of BMNR and get back in from a long term perspective, the clue on this chart here, as you see, is it shows you up top here where this blue line goes to yellow. And this happened way back in October. So in October, the signal came in here when BMNR was at 53, that it was a signal to get out. And if you look here, all the way over here, and you go chase this yellow line all the way down, you'll see that it's showing on from a daily trading perspective in terms of the daily charts. If you're trading the daily charts all the way down here, it's just yellow all the way down to where we're at right now. Now, this is tech from TradingView and also Invest Answers. So you look here and it's still not signaling to get back in from a daily perspective. So the signal to get out on BMNR was all the way back in October. And you can see the line stayed yellow all the way through from October to present day. You can see this yellow line. So that price point up here again was like, okay, sell out on BMNR. You can see it was blue for a while and sell out on BMNR around 52. And then it says just stay out of the trade or stay out of it all the way down here to $19. Now, hindsight is 2020 when you're looking at it. It's good to go back and do research and see where mistakes could have been made. I know for me, I was not looking at this back in October, and I just started studying this trend recently, and I watched it. I was like, wow, look how accurate this trend has been. So if you look here, this is still not a signal to get back into BMNR for the long term. So I'm trading it right now on a weekly basis, and I will re-enter the position for an up move in the more long term as I see these charts change and go from yellow to blue. Now, if you're looking at MSTR on the same timetable, you can take a look at MSTR and you can see when's the signal on the daily charts on MSTR. And you see back here, the signal blue to yellow was to get out around 150, 164 was the signal to get out. And now you see it's yellow all the way down. There's still not a signal to get back in. Maybe turning soon, but there's no signal to get back in. When that does, I'll re-enter positions on this and then hold it out for a longer period of time. But right now I'm just trading in and out of these two stocks. And I'm using the 2 hour charts to do that, which we'll get back to in a little bit. I'll show you that a little bit later from a trading perspective, but I just wanted to show you, like, it does not look like the bottom's in per this, or I should say it doesn't look like there's a re-entry point per the daily points charts on MSTR here. It's not turning blue yet to say get in this for the long term. So from my own personal decisions, I'm not going to get back in it until we see a turn on this, but I'm going to continue to trade it and pick up more gains on it. So there's that. And then BMNR was the same thing. There was no turn on it to say, hey, we're turning back up from a long-term perspective where it's going to turn bullish again. It's still bearish, obviously, but this is a very, very helpful chart. So if you need access to something like this, you can go to TradingView and Invest Answers. This is where I get these indicators from. And it's very, very good data. All right. So now we're going to get into what's happening kind of in the short term right now and take a look at Bitcoin sliding below 65,000. And we're seeing whales are selling off right now. And we're seeing this as a result also of tariff fears. So if you take a look at the recent news, we saw Bitcoin drop down into the $62,000 range. First hit 63,000 clearly, and we went as low as 62. About a 4.5% slide. We hit this earlier in February, if you remember, on Bitcoin. So what's driving the move of it? Well, whale selling is accelerating this. And if you look at the on-chain data from CryptoQuant, it shows a spike in Bitcoin moving from large private wallets to exchanges right now. So what that basically means is it's a signal that there's an intent to sell. And when whales and early adopters and funds and larger institutions, when they send coins to exchanges, supply increases fast. So right now, there's little evidence of aggressive dip buying to absorb it. So the sentiment is very fragile right now in the marketplace. As we all know, we're feeling it. And then you have the whole Trump tariff saga. So that shakes up risk assets. We got the recent news on this. And also a trade policy. The U.S. Supreme Court struck down a large portion of Donald Trump's tariffs. They ruled that he exceeded his authority. And you see here, the exact same thing I told you, a large portion of former President Donald Trump's global tariffs, I don't know why they're saying former, imposed under the International Emergency Economic Powers Act, ruling the administration exceeded its legal authority. So clearly, there was some ruling against it. And how did Trump respond? New 10% global import tariff for 150 days. And he later raised that to 15%, which is the maximum. So that hit equities. It hit other risk assets. We saw a big drop on Bitcoin. If you started watching it last night, it started just platooning down. And so we're seeing, some problems, obviously, in the marketplace. We continue to see problems. If you look at Strategy's long-term game plan, they continue to buy. So they bought 39 million this past week at an average price of 67,000, 592 Bitcoin. If you look at Irhan here announcing Strategy's 100th Bitcoin purchase to date since it started buying in 2020. And so they just bought more. Their total holdings now is 717,000 with an average cost of about 76,000 per coin. Even as the whale sell, Strategy continues accumulating. So Strategy continues to buy. BMNR continues to buy as well. Ether and altcoins are under lots of pressure. We saw ETH drop to about 1810 this morning. I saw it at. Vitalik has sold some of his Ethereum. So if you look here, past 2 days, bringing his total monthly sales of 8,651 ETH, worth around 18 million. So he has sold off some ETH comparably to his holdings. It's a small amount, but he's still sold off some ETH here. So relatively small, but it adds concerns to the whale-driven pressure of selling that we're seeing in the marketplace as well. Altcoins followed lower, -6%. We got Solana, -6%. We got Cardano and XRP, all drops. Risk appetite is clearly thinning in the marketplace, and macro adds more pressure to this because as we look at GDP growth, is slowing to 1.4%. Inflation still around that 2.9%, but it bodes kind of for a hawkish Fed. So we're not counting on any Fed interest rate cuts anytime soon. If inflation stays high, they're going to stay hawkish. So that's not good for crypto. And we got sticky inflation plus slowing growth of GDP. That complicates the rate cut expectations. So without easier liquidity, crypto faces more headwinds, and that's not good news. So between the whale selling, you have the tariff thing with Trump that just took place. You have the macro uncertainty. Bitcoin isn't just pulling back. It's dropping lower. And as I was sharing on earlier videos, we dropped below 65,000. So it is potential that we will hit 60,000, and we could even go into the 50s. So just, beware. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but beware of that. Ethereum faces its own tests. We got price sliding on ETH, but the conviction buying is accelerating with BMNR. Ethereum hits its 2-week low, but Bitmine doubles down. So we see the consistent pattern of BMNR and MSTR. They continue to buy. Doesn't change the fact that the market's dropping, but they're sticking to their strategy and they're sticking to their game plan with MSTR to pick up more Bitcoin. They own about 3.3 or 3.4% of supply. If you look at BMNR, they just increased their supply to about 3.66% of the ETH supply. So they continue to buy more. But again, we're down more than 4% this week on Ethereum, 61% below its August 2025 all-time high of 4,946. You remember those days? Those were fun days. And if you look at ETH, sitting around 1860. So price slides, we got BMNR still buying. They add 98 million in Ethereum. And they've accumulated another 51,000 ETH last week, worth roughly 98 million. So see this announcement here of their ETH holdings, 8.65 billion, and they've got 6 billion of it staked. So with 8.4 billion of their value of their Ethereum, that's 3.66% of the supply. Chairman Tom Lee says we're in a mini crypto winter. but he still emphasizes that they are buying, they're executing their strategy, they're optimizing ETH yield. And if you look at this report here from MHG, it talks about the staking yield, 171 million. I think it's closer to 200 million now that BMNR is generating from their ETH staking. We do know that they have an unrealized drawdown of $8.1 billion in unrealized losses. And Tom Lee has reported this loss here, 8.4 billion to be precise. And ETH is down 35% in the past month, down 61% from its all-time high. It's not just ETH. We know that BMNR is also down 32% and down 63% over the last 6 months. And there you have it. So BMNR price around 1935, maybe a little bit higher right now as of the current market. So that's what's happening in the marketplace. You know, why stay bullish? It's very hard to stay bullish right now, but we could be hitting a bottom. We'll see. Tom Lee believes 2026 could be a defining year. So he's still looking out at the long-term prospects of the blockchain, AI agents potentially operating on Ethereum. You have blockchain-based human verification systems. It's one of the reasons they invested in Orbs, is one of their moonshots. And the deeper integration into traditional finance, which is the moves of Wall Street getting on the blockchain. All the same story that sticks. It doesn't change the fact that the price is way down. So the question is, what do you do during times where the price is way down? We know that since the $19 billion liquidation event that happened on October 10th, we know that we have continued to cascade down to more market bottoms. And the price action hasn't confirmed a call yet of whether we're at a bottom or not. We will see. But I'm going to just put your attention here. If you're just joining this, this is a good chart that I was just showing. This is the daily chart, and this shows you longer term time frames. So I trade the 2-hour time frame and the 3 and 5 minute time frame. But if you look at BMNR right now, as I was showing this earlier, just to give you a recap, you know, BMNR on the daily charts, you know, had a sell coming in here at $52 on BMNR, and this was way back in October. And we have not had a buy signal on the daily come in yet. So this is way back here. Daily sell out around 53 or 52. And then there's no signal to get back in yet if you're looking at the daily, because you look at all this yellow here. You would have stayed completely out of this trade if you were following this, or completely out of this investment at the time. I did not. I've been trading BMNR for 6 months, as you know. But I will enter back into my long position on this as this turns. So right now, could we go lower? We could absolutely go lower. But in terms of bullish momentum for the long term, I'm looking at this daily chart to decide when I'm going to enter back into BMNR and just hold. Right now I'm trading and I'm picking up more money and more gains. So when I do enter back in, the goal is to have more money for BMNR shares, more BMNR shares. But right now there's no indication here because this is not blue. So when it does turn blue, that'll signal to me that there's long-term bullish momentum and we'll recover on an upward trend again. Same goes for MSTR. I just showed this before. On MSTR, if you're looking at the daily charts, this is TradingView and Invest Answers Tech. You got to plug these two together. But on MSTR, it shows the same thing. So what am I doing in the short term? I am not holding the position right now for MSTR and BMNR. I'm just trading it. So in the short term, I'm trading it. So while we've seen this sideways price action, if you look at the 2-hour charts, the 2-hour charts are what I'm trading, and they move more frequently. I was just showing you the daily. So they give you signals on the 2-hour charts every couple of days. So this is Tuesday where it's flipping bullish again, but you don't know that it's flipping bullish on this. I wait for it to be very blue. This is just thin blue. So I don't know that we're bullish, but I put a short on BMNR over the last couple days, and I picked up a bunch of gains on it because here it was signaling on Monday, get out, and the price was at $20, and it dropped all the way down here to about like 1880. So this 2-hour chart's been so accurate to where when I see signals from blue to yellow, I'll get out of the position. I short and I'll put more gains and more, and when it's time to blue, I position. Makes sense. So again, I've been trading this for the last 6 months. But when October hit, I switched from the daily charts, the 3 and the 5 minute charts, to the 2-hour charts, because I found the 2-hour charts were way more accurate. And I only have to place a trade on this every couple of days. Now, if you want more of like my trading strategy on a daily basis as well, you can click down below, and I walk you through exactly how I do it on a daily basis as well. But this is also how I do it on a weekly basis, which means I'm trading really maybe 1 or 2 trades every single week per this chart. And you can see it's super clear, like get out here and you ride it all the way down. And these are pretty significant gains. I mean, if you got out here and you rode it all the way down, that's like a 4% move. And that's the course of, if you look, that's Tuesday, February 17th, and you would have gotten back in here like February 20th. So over 3 days, that's a 4% gain. So if you're trading BMNR, I'm trading it. I'm picking up more money, which also equals more shares for me long-term when I buy back into the position, as the indicators show me that we're going to turn bullish for the long term. Right now, there's no indicators on the daily that we're turning bullish yet for the long term. This is the daily, so this is a longer term time horizon. I was just showing the 2 hour. There's no indication yet. It's not blue, so it's not like we're picking up bullish momentum. So until then, you'll see we're trading sideways. So it's like, even if you look at MSTR, it's like, how long we've been trading between. We look at MSTR on the 2 hour charts, and you look at how long we've been trading between like 121 and 136. It's been constant, man. Just look at this, up, down, up, down. And the signals are so clear of like, here I buy, it goes yellow to blue. I buy into MSTR, ride it up. I mean, it's like, honestly, right now it's taking candy from a baby on this, because the signals are so clear. And then when it comes in here, it's like sell out here. When it goes blue to yellow, ride it all the way down. Buy back in. When it goes to blue, ride it up. Pretty simple, but we've been seeing this pattern. So if you're just like, if I'm just sitting in it right now, I'm sitting in this in-between zone between 121 and 136, and it's just going up, down, up, down. And so while it's going up, down, I'm just picking up more gains on it. And that's been my plan for BMNR. We started doing this in our community and really paying attention to the 2 hour charts in BMNR over the last 3 months. And then on strategy, I started seeing the same pattern over the last 3, now going on 4 weeks. Look how clear these lines are. It's clear when it's blue to yellow, you get out. And when it's yellow to blue, you get back in. It's just that clear. And if we look at the 2 hour on MSTR right now, maybe tomorrow it turns blue. It looks like it might be getting there. It's not quite there yet. So it's not quite there yet, telling me that it's time to get back in here. And then when it does signal blue, I don't get in right away. I wait a 2 hour period that's blue, another 2 hour period, and then probably around the 6th hour, I get back in. So this is just great tech, man. Like, kudos to TradingView is fantastic with this. Kudos to Invest Answers on this. It's just great tech to, help make decisions on this stuff. And even if you have no interest in trading, if you just look at the daily charts on this, it's just great to know, what's going on per the technical analysis. And it's you can't sit here and argue that technical analysis isn't important, because look how spot on these charts are. I mean, it literally told you to get out of MSTR at 162. Look at it. There's no signal to get back in. It's at 124 right now. So from a long-term investing perspective, this is just great stuff to know, like, when the market's going to turn. And that's why I use it. I'm still bullish long-term on MSTR and BMNR, but as it's sitting down on low and we're in like this crypto winter, I want to make more gains while we're sitting down in this, this awful, little wintry area that's may go lower, and who knows. So we'll see. We'll see whether it's going to go up soon or not. We know, following MSTR and BMNR with Saylor and Tom Lee, they're just bullish long term. Their whole outlook is 4, 5, 6, 7 years, and I agree with them 100%. I agree so much so in their analysis of how great MSTR is long term, how great BMNR is long term. I subscribe to their leadership. I subscribe to their philosophy. I subscribe to what they're doing. I think these are the 2 digital asset treasury companies that are going to crush it. I believe that Bitcoin's amazing long term, Ethereum's amazing long term. But for those of us who have different time horizons in terms of short term, of clearly long term, my time horizon on BMNR and MSTR is 4 years, 8 years, 12 years, and I want to continue to hold the assets. But in the meantime, I'm going to sell in and out of it to pick up more gains. And that's it. That's my strategy right now. So if you want to get more on this, again, you can go down below and you can snag it. There's a whole video on it. If you want to get my money game book, you can get that as well. It tells you more about MSTR and BMNR if you're new to the channel. It's a great book. It's all about Bitcoin, Ethereum, MSTR, BMNR. It's totally free. You can snag it. The trading video comes with it to shows you how I'm trading, and you can snag that as well. It's been super helpful for me. to learn how to trade and learn how to manage my money. It is risky to do any of this stuff. So like if one just wants to know about the long-term time horizon of BMNR and MSTR, I would go, check this stuff out and just go look at the daily. Like, look how clean the daily is. It just shows you we're bullish, and it's been showing this from bearish. We're showing this for months on MSTR. Same thing on BMNR. So if you just want to be in the know of like, without being able to look at technical charts and be like, what's going on, and analyze something, because data is so important. Long-term convictions, extremely important, but data is incredibly important. So without data and without being able to analyze data, it's easy to go effective this stuff. And so for me, I'm like anybody. I've made my fair share of mistakes over the years with this. I started investing in Bitcoin in 2018, bought my first shares of MSTR in 2020, didn't hold on to my MSTR shares then, but and then I started to get heavily back into MSTR in early 2024 at an average price in the 100s. So, it's been a rocket ride. It's been a roller coaster. When times are good, times are great. I believe there's great times in the future. So I'm not being a bear for the long-term time horizon at all. I'm very, very confident in MSTR and BMNR for the long run, but I also know that it's important to look at the data and the technical analysis short-term, and these daily charts tell you a lot. So again, credit where credit is due on this. This is great tech from TradingView, great tech from Invest Answers. I don't get anything if you go there and subscribe. I just highly believe that these charts are important for one to keep their sanity and see what's going on, and learn a little bit about how to just like analyze investments long term. It's good stuff. All right. If you want more stuff and you want the short term stuff of making trades on a weekly basis, I've got some good stuff down below. You can go watch some videos on that for free. Okay. I hope this serves you. I hope you have a great rest of the day. I know it's a rough time right now. Hang tight. I know personally, looking at Bitcoin out into the future, we know it's an incredible asset. We know the fundamentals are still very, very strong for Bitcoin, and that's never changed for me over the course of since 2018. I believe that, and I just believe it more and more every single year. And I also believe that an ETH is incredible. And so one who owns MSTR and knows that they have Bitcoin on their balance sheet and believes in Bitcoin can know that long term, that I believe Bitcoin for myself personally is a great long-term position. And I also believe that MSTR is a great long-term position as well, because just of the fundamentals of how great Bitcoin is, and also the fundamentals of Ethereum and how Wall Street is moving there. It's just no secret that that's happening. It's been the story for a while now. I think most of the public doesn't really know it because most people aren't in the know. Even if you look at the search on Google and YouTube of like the search volume on MSTR and BMNR, it's still super low in terms of the search volume and the competition out there of like who's talking about it and who's talking about these stocks. It's very low on YouTube. So it just shows me also that the timing on this is still super early. You go to a party and ask people like, what's MSTR? They're going to be like, Mr. Who? Mr. Who are you talking about? Or BMNR? What's BMNR? What? They're not going to understand. So we're very, very new and early to this. And it's still going to be a long, long time into the future where these stocks, BMNR and MSTR and Bitcoin and Ethereum, have a long, long time to develop and grow and flourish. And so let's stay tuned for the next 4, 5, 6 years. I think it's going to be a great ride. And in the short term, just hang in, fasten your seatbelt. Right now it feels more like fasten your seatbelt because of a crash, not because of liftoff. But we'll see how much lower we go. Could we touch 60 on Bitcoin? Yeah. Could we go into the 50s? Yeah, it's very possible. But again, definitely get yourself some data on technical analysis. These charts on the 2-hour time frame, on the daily time frame, just for a long-term investor to look at this, it just gives you much more certainty on what's going on. And then I'll let you know. I'll keep you updated when I see the trend turning on this. I don't know if it's going to be a month, 2 months, what have you, but we'll see, and I'll keep you updated. Okay. All right. Thanks so much. Have a great rest of the day, and hope you guys are doing well. See you soon.